And that's why I think I've made a career not only by telling people what to do, but also by being the person who held the anus and always said, well, it's mechanics, how it's done. So we create what we call a matrix of temporal values. One of the things I almost always wanted to say to some people is what is the main limiting factor in your company or department when you do it, the only limit that you set most of all on the results that you want to accept. And some people like to say, oh, I need more evidence to get through the door. Others will say I need more operational skills. Some will say, I don't have a keychain. Great. So, one of the things I work with the organization on a marketing strategy, and we often have quarterly planning meetings to try to say, okay, what next? And you always join the team and score 19 goals because you know that everyone has their own. And I know that you are a big fan of the idea that you can only have one couple. And we say, well, he has become a heavyweight champion. And I would say to someone who thinks about it, firstly, it was Hollywood in the 70s. But secondly, there must be a better way to succeed in business. Whether it's in your own company or as the manager somewhere else in the clock that punishes time and career loyalty to have it. Because most people say, of course, I have to be valued in the economy, but we don't know how we live to save time and effort. Or worse, we encourage our employees to be subtle because it takes time and effort. But maybe if I could focus on what I can do, what brings me much more work in business, or if one of the law firms I'm talking about in the book would be a man, Marvin, who runs a successful boutique and makes decisions for it, where he should determine the structure of the reward for what he was so busy with legal work that he had never done before. And who really thinks about his end time, which he, and what he does, in his opinion, should have been David Finkel. And then people say, well, I have a plan of action. And I say, oh, great, let me see. Oh, it's not in writing. The difference is that most people think about it, that's what I'm going to do. Well, if I can, I'm looking for someone to work with to make sure I organize and coordinate my actions to achieve a certain result. That's what got worse, John, when I asked, well, do you think your employees are just as inaudible, or better than you are, or the same? Most people said the same or worse, which means that it is not only your 900 hours, but also 900 hours of your 5 employees in your management team this year and you want to see for 60 days where the boundaries and rules of the game are. Where should people react and where should they be able to set limits? If Tim holds a meeting with the 3 best programmers, shouldn't he be able to cut off all the letters of these people? If you don't get all these people to turn off their phones for this 2-hour meeting without telling anyone, my God, you disappoint us without answering. Well, our culture exists. David Finkel, what she does, John, gives me a visual tool in order to blame myself and the rest of my team. To focus our better time and attention on fewer things that matter a lot. And I think it's safe to say that when I heard you and I know that we unpack things, it really has to be deliberate because, man, there are a lot of thieves who, as you said, can be unconscious. The day goes by and you come home and my wife asks me, what happened today? I don't know, but I was very busy. I'm at the top of the stairs. I challenged him. I said, Marvin, but your lawyers demand 30, 40, 50% less than your competitors. And when we looked at him, it took about 2 hours to make a decision. Information.